Hi Laura, good morning.
Hi, Amar. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good.
Are you in your office?
This is not my office. I am in a office, yes, this morning.
All right. Congratulations on passing PMI scheduling professional exam. How are you feeling?
Good, good. Yeah, it's good to be done with.
Fantastic. Wonderful. I'm so happy. And I was super confident that you're gonna pass the exam because
Thanks. I
of
appreciate that.
uh, the way you were interacting during the class. You were asking questions and you were taking notes. I was confident you're going to pass the exam. Laura, thank you so much for the time for this lesson learned session. This would be really helpful for anyone who would be preparing for PMI-SP exam. So let's start with your brief introduction. Where are you from? What do you do?
I am from Ensign Bickford in Connecticut. I am currently a project scheduler, but I am the operations logistics here.
All right, fantastic. So let's talk about your PMI-SP experience. How much total time you spent in the entire preparation process?
I scheduled it probably a little bit closer than I wanted to initially, but I wanted to get it done before some certain things. And so I had about a month and I used at least 5 hours probably a week before that. So I would say probably close to 25 to 30 hours total studying outside of the class.
All right, 30 hours in addition to the class. Fantastic. And which resources did you use for the preparation?
I used the mock tests, both mock tests, I took those, and then I used some additional mock tests from online. And I, when looking at the mock tests, I went back to the book that stated which sections either I missed, I highlighted the ones that I missed, and then went back and re-looked at those in the standard for learning or standard for scheduling, that the practice for scheduling book.
All right. And if you could recall, what was your percentage in those mock tests which I shared with you?
I had an 82 on mock test one and an 84 on mock test two.
Fantastic. Wonderful. And were those relevant to the real exam in terms of language or the concepts or anything?
I think the questions were, I found that the answers, once I got through the second mock test, I kind of knew what the answer was going to be based on some of the questions from the other test. And in the real test, I feel like they tried to trick you a little bit more. The words were very similar, whether it was one word that was different or it was in two of the questions, and then the next one, the other two were in that question, but you had to pick which ones actually went together. Um, Not that there were more options, but it would be like, which one? And then it would have one, two, three, four, one, two, three, four. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to know all the pieces that go into it. So that felt harder than I thought it was going to be. Um, but they were relevant, and I still needed to know more outside of that.
All right, fantastic. So did you see anything in the real exam that you couldn't study during your preparation?
No, probably things that I saw that I didn't study as closely. I think I paid very close attention to the smaller equations, so the earned value analysis, and then had a hard time remembering the to completion, and that was on there 3 or 4 times. And I was like, okay, now I have to take my best guess at this and hope that some of the other questions I got right, because I can't do this calculation in my head right now, and I don't have time. Um, so I don't think that there was anything we didn't cover. There was a lot on hammock activities, and I don't know if we specifically talked about that. Eventually, I looked it up in the book because I saw it on some of the mock questions, but that was in there more than I had anticipated, probably. I'm glad I looked at it. And just the schedule model instance, just how many times that is applicable was a lot.
Yeah, I intentionally added questions regarding hammock because I know you will see that in the exam. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So how helpful was the course, our 4 days long course?
Oh, I mean, it was really helpful. I wouldn't have passed without it. I think um, coming into the role that I'm in now, I needed something like this and didn't know that I needed something like this. So it was helpful for not only the test. I'm glad I have the certificate now to say I officially know those things, but it has been really applicable for my job too.
All right, fantastic. Could you please highlight some of the important areas or topics for students to focus on, considering your real exam experience?
Hmm. Um, I think, I mean, the parts where it's 33% of the test, those scheduling, creating the schedule and then maintaining the schedule, I would heavily focus on that. Some of the other questions, I mean, even the closeout and preparation for it, the planning, those almost feel like logical things that you should know, but you can't make up that you don't know how to make the schedule or what kind of schedule you should use or where those vocabulary words fall. You just have to know which model and how to maintain it and those equations. And I would focus on that.
All right, and how did you manage time during the exam?
I just kept a close eye on it. I mean, I ended up with about 30 minutes left. So I flagged the questions that I was unsure about. I went through and I had probably 25 questions at the end that I had to review, maybe closer to 30, 28. But I had like 40 minutes left. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take an unscheduled break now and take a minute because I know I can get through those questions in that time. So I took a break and then went back and reviewed all the questions. Some of the longer questions, like figuring out the critical path, the flow in all of those, I saved till the end because I knew it was going to take me a minute to do some math and figure that out. But I feel like I'm a pretty fast reader, so I didn't feel like the time was too short, and I used most of it in the end.
All right. And were you confident during the exam that you're going to pass the exam?
No, after the first 25 questions, I was like, okay, I have to prepare to take this again. Like, I literally need to make sure that I know these things. And I, yeah, there were a couple that I was like, that one's right for sure. And then otherwise, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope that one was the right one. I feel like even in the mock tests, I went back and forth between two a lot. And it was probably 50-50 when I got the right one or picked the wrong one. No, I transparently did not feel confident. I was like a bit bummed, and then it was like, congratulations. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is great.
Absolutely. This is a common feeling. Like when you take the exam, you're just 50-50 and you're not sure if you're going to pass the exam because questions and specifically two options are so close to each other. And it's pretty difficult for you to pick one, right? So did you get your result right after the exam?
Yeah.
Okay, so it says
Uh,
congratulations are.
yeah, well, it said you have the certificate now. So I assumed that meant I passed. And I was like, wow, that was like fast. I didn't do anything. And then when I walked out, she handed me a piece of paper that had the sections of it and whether I was on target, below target, or above target. So I had like a vague idea of what I did, and it said pass on there too.
All right. So how many above target did you get if you could recall one or two
I
or
had two that were above target and three that were on target.
all right. And if somebody goes through the standard for scheduling that PMI has developed, do you think it's sufficient to cover 100% of the content?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of content that has to be covered, especially since it's only 4 days. But I think it is sufficient. I do think there's some work that has to be done outside of the class in order to feel like you're ready for the certificate to pass the test. But I think the coursework itself is sufficient.
All right. Last question. Any advice for anyone who would be taking SP exam?
Um, Just try your best. I mean, you have to sort of trust your training. I tried to revert and not make assumptions and be like, yes, this is the thing that I know. And so trying to reread the question, looking for anything that would give you a hint at whether it was looking for something related to the planning process or to the monitoring phase. Um, I think you just have to try. I really think putting it off doesn't help either. The closer you are to the training, the more you remember from that too. So just giving it your best and trusting your training for sure.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much. And are you motivating others to take the exam? What's their
I
status?
am. Caitlin and Courtney have scheduled their exam for October.
Okay.
So I was getting married. I am getting married in August, and we're going on vacation next week. And I was like, I want to be done with this to finish planning a wedding and to be able to relax. So I was like, I'm getting mine done by the whatever today is, the 18th. And they said we're not ready to take it then. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm doing it. Um, Lynn has not finished her application yet. So I don't know what her plan is. I think she could still finish it and take it with Courtney and Caitlin. So I don't know if she's going to try to do that or what.
Fantastic. Congratulations on you're going to fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wonderful. It's a great news. Okay, I'll try to reach out to them and we'll try to motivate them. Okay, go and take the exam. If Laura can do, you all can do. So
What's that mean?
Laura, thank you so much for this lesson and session. This would be really helpful. And stay in touch if you need any kind of help regarding upcoming courses, anything, any data or materials. I'm just a text away. You can email me and we can get in touch. And congratulations and best of luck in your personal life as well as in your professional life. And I'm really thankful to you as well because the way you participated in the course, that's kind of bringing energy that kept 4 days alive. And thank you so
Yeah,
much for
I can imagine. We actually went through another project training yesterday,
that.
and I was like, this guy just talked all day by himself, and nobody said anything. Like it was, I don't know how these people do this. So
Yeah,
we have a
absolutely.
new
Yeah, if in my
appreciation for it.
class, if students are not saying something, I was like, okay, stop it. Don't teach, stop.
I know it was like, okay, well, it's time for break at least. So, yeah,
That's why I write. I don't use PowerPoints. I just
taking
write.
the notes was
Yeah,
really helpful.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that the students say, okay, what's coming next? And I keep on asking question. And we did a lot of activities as well, like those quizzes. And if I
Yep.
recall, you got first position in that quiz as well, in that game that we
Yeah. Yeah.
those
Yeah.
activities.
It helped us being all together too. I know Latham was in California, but being in the same room as people who are doing it, I was like, this is kind of silly at first. Like we're all together, but then it was like, oh no, we can talk about it and do the questions. And so that was
Yeah.
helpful too.
No, I love that. To be very honest, that group was one of the best groups in terms of seriousness, in terms of learning, in terms of participation. That was wonderful, and I really enjoyed that. And I'll be very happy to see all of you, 5 or 6, all of you certified in next couple of.
Yeah, I know. That would be great.
Thank you so much, Lara. And
Thank you.
one thing, just send me one of your photos and the picture of your certificate, the PDF or
Okay.
whatever. One photo
Sounds
and
good.
one. And thank you so much, Lara. Take good care of yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.